Hello everyone and welcome back to Mars for another nature figure review. Today we're talking Pokemon, and we're talking Pokemon from JAZWARES. We're looking at the Mega Charizard X from their Pokemon Select Trainer Team Series. Now, I just want to say before we get into this review, I am very grateful to JAZWARES for giving us the legendary beast. We have Entei, we have Raikou, we have Suicune, we have all three, and for me, those are my favorite Pokemon, so I am a happy collector when it comes to those legendary beasts, so thank you, JAZWARES. But today, we are looking at the Mega Charizard X, and this is perfect timing for JAZWARES because later this year, we have the Pokemon A and Z releasing for Nintendo Switch, I guess the Switch 2 as well, and that game is bringing back the Mega Evolution, so we're more than likely going to see Charizard make his return. So perfect timing. Now with that out of the way, let's go ahead and take a look at the packaging. Obviously you can see you have the window there exposing the figure itself, which is pretty cool. You're not going to be getting a lot of accessories with this release. All you're getting is the figure and the stand itself. On the side of the box, you can see one little pose here of Mega Charizard, and it looks pretty good. It kind of is metallic, I guess, so it kind of reflects in the sun, which is pretty cool. You can have that gloss or whichever the type of finish it is. And then on the very back of the box, you can see what all is contained in this wave. This is going to be the 9th wave. You can see Charizard, we have Deoxys, we have the Fire Guy, and then we have Suicune. Now, Suicune, I'm guessing, is still going to be out in the wild. Otherwise, that figure is going to be long gone unless they do a re-release. So, with that out of the way, let's go ahead and get this figure out of the box and take a closer look at the aesthetic and everything else. Now, let's first get into the size comparisons for this Charizard. Up first, we have the legendary beast, as I mentioned before, Entei, Raikou, and Suicune. As you can see, Entei and Raikou, those are very large Pokemon. Those are beasts after all. And compared to Charizard, if they get a hold of him, it's over, right? Suicune's another story, but the other two, definitely an issue. So let's go ahead and move on to our next size comparisons. Continuing on with our size comparisons, we have the SH Figuarts Tanjiro Kamado. Up next, we have the Maximum Series Spider-Man and the Jada Toys Sagat. And then last but not least, we have the Storm Collectibles Evil Ryu. Now, let's bring this figure in and take a look at that aesthetic. Aesthetically speaking, with this figure, I think they did a great job. Clearly, there are some enhancements with the original release that they came out with years ago. We did that review on the channel, so make sure you check that out as well. But from what I can tell, there are some slight improvements, like with the painting and things like that. Now, there are some blemishes here and there, as you can see on the back of the tail. You can see that paint blemish there. For $20, though, you really are getting something pretty decent here as well. Aesthetically, I think it looks great. It pops. You know, the blue speaks for itself, especially out here in the natural lighting. You can just see how well the figure looks. Really, really cool. And yeah, I mean, that's as far as I can go really with aesthetic. I don't really have anything to compare it with. I really haven't seen this Pokemon in the game or anything like that, but I would say with JAZWARES' track record, they did a great job aesthetically. I'm pretty sure this is beat for beat for what you get in the games, on Pokemon Go, the whole 9 yards. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get into the articulation for this figure. Some new things you're going to notice with this figure is that the paws, they actually articulate down here at the claws here as well. So let's see, I'm able to tuck that in and form a fist. And I'm pretty sure that's one of his moves where he balls up his fist and makes an attack. The same thing on the other side as well. Pretty cool. Your wings are articulated in 3 different sections, so you can have some different poses and things like that there as well. Here's a span of it all the way back, you can see. So you can have it flap up like this, and then come all the way down like so, like this. Pretty cool there. Arms do rotate. You do have a joint here at the shoulder, so it kind of gives you a little bit more articulation there. At the elbows as well. Double jointed elbows at that. You can see here. At the neck, you can extend down this far, and you can go back this much here. The jaw has a little bit of movement, but nothing too crazy. At the head, you can see, so you can get those awesome poses, like so. Kind of like this, you know, coming through. Pretty cool. For the head, all the way down. For the legs, nothing too crazy. They kind of come out a little bit, just a hair there. And then for the ankles, they kind of, just a little bit of movement there. With the feet, you can see a little bit of rocker movement as well. So yeah, I mean, articulation wise, I think it's pretty good. For the tail, this does extend down and up as well. And at the very end, it's like a little bend wire there, so you can see you can pose it in different directions. This does move around as well. Be careful, it may come off if you're too rough. But yeah, that's going to be it for the articulation on this guy, or Pokemon. Now, let's go ahead and look at the stand real quick. Here's our stand, nothing too crazy, and I like how they put it in the packaging to where you don't have to remove it completely from the paper backing. You can just kind of lift it and pull out. And then to see this fully realized, there you go. Then you can bring it down like so. A really good stand, actually. Not bad at all. Alright, and now with that, let's go ahead and get into the final conclusion for Mega Charizard X. In the end, JAZWARES continues to pretty much bring the satisfaction when it comes to these Pokemon figures that we're getting. For only $20 at that, that's pretty incredible. You know, like I've always said, you know, we try to review premium collectible items, but for $20, getting these awesome Pokemon figures when there's not that much out there, especially that is articulated and current, I think is a big contribution to the community from JAZWARES. So thank you, and I'm looking forward to seeing what other releases we get. I'm happy. I've got my legendary beast, so there's nothing I'm really looking forward to. But hey, this Charizard was a decent surprise, and I love how it just pops here in the natural setting. For 20 bucks, when I went to Target the other day, there was plenty in stock, so should you find yourself in Target and you see one of these figures, do yourself a favor, pick this up, and then I guarantee you, you will begin to appreciate this Pokemon line that we have for the community here. And maybe you've already been collecting, so you already know what I'm talking about. Thank you all for watching. We'll see you all in the next one. Pretty sure I'm going to have a dedicated Legendary Beast review. Not sure when it's going to happen, but it is going to be coming, so make sure you hit that bell icon just in case I upload it sometime this year. Thanks again, and we'll see you in the next one. Have a great day. Peace.